made possible through the support of our generous sponsors. The Talk of Paynesville, a Paynesville Area Community Education production in association with the Paynesville Area Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to the Talk of Paynesville, our community live stream talk show. I'm Jacob Bertram.
And I'm Faith DeCousin. Thank you for joining us live today. We are glad you are watching. Please enter your questions in the comment section below at any time during this broadcast, and we will try to get them into the show. And I think today should be National Talk Show Day. What do you think?
I agree. Every day should be that day. Well, folks, we have a great show in store for you, like always. Our in-studio guests today are Paynesville Area Schools Secondary Principal, Mr. Dave Oehrlein, and Elementary Principal, Mrs. Mary Holmberg. They'll be talking about the district's Fall 2020 Return to Learn plan. We also have our special Centracare health segment, local trivia contest, the joke of the week, chamber member spotlight, inspirational quote of the day, and your May Wealth Management Money Minute.
Now for our local news. You may have noticed some large cranes behind the secondary school this past Tuesday. A new secondary boiler arrived and was craned into the building. The workers had to cut a hole into the roof to get the boilers into place. The new boiler is replacing the 1969 boiler. Today at 1:30 p.m. we will be streaming the Community Education Robotics Camp Robotics competition on our YouTube channel. Here is Anita Flanders with more information.
Well, folks, we have some problems there, but you can tune in at 1:30 today to watch the robotics camp. Be a great way to have a competition there, and the kids are excited, and I think everyone is excited as well. 6th grade band camp began on Monday, August 24th. Students were able to enjoy the outdoor weather while begin learning their new instruments. Mr. Nick Flatham is a secondary band instructor. Nick is replacing Mr. Theron Knowlton. Theron took a new teaching job in Minneapolis this summer. The annual Grandma's Attic Sale was held Saturday, August 22nd at the Paynesville Area Center. I was able to stop by on Saturday. They had a great turnout. I even got to enjoy their famous fry bread, and it was very good. I had to say it was very good. And now for what we've all been waiting for, the weekly Paynesville Trivia Question. We venture back in time for this question. How much was a gallon of moonshine in the 1920s? Was it A, $5, B, $40, C, $8, or D, $100? Here's a hint, it may help or not. A shot of moonshine sold for 15 cents, and a quart bottle sold for $2. Enter your answer in the comment section below. You might be a lucky winner. No, we do not have any moonshine with us today, but you might be a winner of something else. The answer will be revealed later in the show. Good luck to everyone. We'll be right back after this.
When everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life. At Central Minnesota Credit Union, we've streamlined our financial tools to ensure you have everything you need all under one roof. Whether you're starting a family, starting a business, or buying a home, CMCU is here to be a trusted financial partner. CMCU offers free checking options and a network of financial experts. Because when everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life.
Let's send it over to Jacob in our Brickhouse studio. He is with the Paynesville Area Schools Principals, Mr. Oehrlein and Mrs. Holmberg now.
positivity.
Well, folks, we welcome Mr. Dave Oehrlein, our secondary school principal, and Mrs. Mary Holmberg, our elementary school principal. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, we'll start with you. You want to tell us the Return to Learn plan and how it affects the elementary school.
Great. Yep, our Return to Learn plan is all kids will be present with us every day because we're in person. So basically, our kids and staff will need to wear their masks at all times when they're in our building. We will have 6 feet markers on our floors in the cafeteria and all of our hallways. And then when kids get into their classrooms, they'll still need to wear their masks, but we'll try to provide as much social distancing as possible, but we don't need to adhere to that 6-foot model in our classrooms. So we're starting with back to school meet and greet conferences in place of open house on Wednesday night. And then that first Wednesday of school, that would have been September 8th, we have conferences scheduled with families. And then the first day of school for everybody is on Wednesday, September 9th. So things are unraveling really fast, and we're just really excited to get students and staff back in the building.
Absolutely. Mr. Oehrlein, how is the secondary school going to look like?
Sure, we'll look a little bit different. So we are going to be starting in a hybrid model, which is a combination of in-person and remote learning. And so students have an opportunity to, they'll be required to be in school at least 2 days a week if they're in the hybrid model, with an opportunity to attend 3 to 4 days. And then any other days that they're not in person, it would be remote learning. And we also have the option for students who are going to do 100% remote learning. Basically, we look at everything in a 50% capacity, and we're working on making sure that we have overflow classes so that we don't go over that capacity. And we'll also be following any social distancing guidelines that we're required to follow.
So you guys kind of had a quick turnaround from when, the state said their final kind of statement there. So how did the district come up with the 2 plans?
We actually kind of hit it head on and made all 3 plans at the same time, so that no matter what the state recommends, we're able to just fluidly move from one to the other. So at the elementary level, we already have families that have opted for that remote learning, and we're preparing for that. And then if we go hybrid, it's a matter of just separating those desks a little bit more in our classrooms. So I think that's kind of the approach that we all took.
Yeah, we had to look at it through 3 different angles and how that was going to work. The reason that we are in the model that we're in is based on the number of cases in our county, and so there's a guideline there that tells us which model that we need to be in, and that's why we have different models at the elementary and the secondary building.
And I understand that plan could change, and if it would change, how would it? What's the change? What will the change be?
Well, the change could be either way. So we could, if the number of cases go down, then the high school could move into more of an in-person model. But if the cases increase, then we would be required to look at a full remote learning model, and then elementary would kind of follow into their next phase also.
So how is the staff morale? Are they worried about coming back to school, or what do the staff kind of feel?
I think the staff are in a really good place. They're excited to come back. They know it's going to be a lot of work. We've learned from what happened in the spring and how we can improve that experience for our students and our families, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, we have staff who haven't seen students since March, and so I think we just have to trust the process and prepare the best that we can for our students and staff to be safe, and I think they're all excited to be back.
Great. Well, we'll change gears a little bit to talk about the project. I've seen some work out there. It's getting pretty close. Mr. Oehrlein, want to give us a little update on what new things that are happening the past couple days?
Sure. It's they've really been working almost around the clock and trying to get things finished up. The plan is that the parking lot will be finished by the time school starts, so that our students will be able to utilize that. And they're working really hard to get the CTE areas finished before school starts. I happened to be in there last night, and it looks great. And I think they're on schedule and we'll be ready to go.
That's great to hear. And Mary, I noticed that there was a new area, a new chroma key wall. Is there going to be able to be some elementary broadcasts this fall?
Absolutely. We redid our computer lab because all of our kiddos are 1-to-1 right now. So we took out all the stationary tables and hard drives that were in there, and kids will bring in their devices now moving forward. So we put the chroma key wall. It's blue because we're Bulldog green. So if the wall were green, we'd just be floating heads and hands because we just blend in with the background. So we went blue. We're ordering an audio booth so that we can do some audio recording as well. There'll be movable tables, flexible seating, and all kinds of interesting places for kids to learn and broadcast and just learn new ways to communicate with each other.
That's great. That's great for them to start. So switching gears again, Mr. Oehrlein, we'll start with you. What do you like best about being principal at Paynesville Area High School?
You know, I wake up every day and I go home every day just thankful for the opportunity that I have to live in this community and to work in this community. When I made the change up to the secondary building, I was really intrigued with the college readiness and personalized learning and just looking at school differently, and that has just been really exciting for me, so I really enjoy that.
Mrs. Holmberg, how about you?
My favorite thing is just being a Bulldog, to have the opportunity to be here. I love our students, families, and staff, and there's such an opportunity at the elementary level to inspire kids and find their strengths and help them move forward with that so that they're prepared for what goes on in the big school. And so it's just really fun, and we have an exciting staff that really looks for those personal connections and whatever is the best practices at the time. They're insightful and intriguing. They just want to do more and do the best that we can for kids. So it's a really good working and learning environment here at Paynesville Schools.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for coming in. That's Mr. Dave Oehrlein, our secondary school principal, and Mrs. Mary Holmberg, the elementary school principal.
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you.
Send it back to you.
When everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life. At Central Minnesota Credit Union, we've streamlined our financial tools to ensure you have everything you need all under one roof. Whether you're starting a family, starting a business, or buying a home, CMCU is here to be a trusted financial partner. CMCU offers free checking options and a network of financial experts. Because when everything is in one place, it's easier to stay focused on your own life.
Now for our health, well-being, and youth segment.
We'd like to welcome Todd Barrow from Centracare Paynesville. He's a physical therapist there. Todd, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming in today.
No problem.
So what service area do you work in at Centracare Paynesville? What will you be talking about today?
I work in the rehab department. I'm a physical therapist. We have physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. We work in the nursing home, the hospital, outpatient clinic, and home health. We cover from newborn to over 100 years of age for care. And what I'll be talking to you about is BPPV, benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. How's that for a mouthful?
Nice, yeah, try saying that a couple times.
Yeah, so that was my senior thesis a million years ago when I was in PT school. Imagine saying that over and over again in front of all your classmates and your professors. So BPPV is a kind of dizziness. There are lots and lots of causes of dizziness. They range from the basic, from inner ear inflammation, inner ear fluid imbalance, medication side effects, dehydration, low blood sugar, stress, blood pressure problems, migraine, or they can come from more serious things. They can come from stroke, heart failure, irregular heartbeat, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, brain tumors, traumatic brain injury. So there's lots and lots and lots of things that can cause dizziness. What I'm talking about is BPPV, and it's a pretty simple problem with a pretty simple solution.
Could you highlight a little bit about what it actually is? How would you know if someone would have BPPV?
Well, BPPV, benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, stands, benign means it's harmless. Paroxysmal just means sudden onset. And positional vertigo means changes in head position is what triggers the dizziness. And what happens with BPPV is in your inner ear, you have a sense organ called the utricle. It's got little hair fibers on it, and on top of those hair fibers are calcium particles. You drive down the road and hit the brakes, those particles keep moving and bend the hair fibers. That's how we get the sensation of stopping. If you drive like a teenager and stomp on the gas, the opposite happens. That's all well and good. That's the way that system's supposed to work. But what happens with BPPV is those little rocks get dislodged and get up where they don't belong. And that's when the problem comes. So, those little rocks, those calcium particles, are supposed to be neutral. They get up into one of the semicircular canals. You have 3 semicircular canals in each inner ear. The front one on the right is matched to the back one on the left, and it's just like a tube full of fluid. At the end of that tube is a sheath which is really sensitive to fluid movement. So if I do this and turn just a little slowly, just a little bit of fluid moves, tells the brain I turn 20 degrees to the left. If I do that, a lot more moves a lot quicker, tells the brain I turn 70 degrees quick to the right. What happens with BPPV is those little rocks get where they're not supposed to be, get into one of those canals. Now that sheath, which is sensitive to just having fluid hit it, now has these rocks slamming into it. So the message your brain gets is that you're on the tilt-a-whirl. Plus, one side's screaming, holy cow, we're on the tilt-a-whirl, and the other side's going, meh, we just turned 30 degrees to the left. So your brain gets a very mixed message. So how do we figure out how they have it? Well, like I said, there's lots and lots of causes of dizziness. So we start out with what's called the subjective part of the evaluation. We ask them questions and pay close attention to how they answer it and the way they describe their dizziness. There's 3 main things that I look for. Number 1, and probably most important, is that they say spinning. My dizziness is spinning. Not woozy, not passing out, not feeling like I've had 3 beers. It's very intense spinning. Number 2 is that it's triggered by a change in head position. Usually rolling over or turning over, sometimes looking down, looking up, but it's that change in the head position that triggers it. They're not just sitting still and all of a sudden the world spins around. The last one is that it lasts less than a minute. Now, you feel like you're on a tilt-a-whirl, you might describe it as 5 minutes, but if it's hours and hours of dizziness, that's not BPPV. So, spinning, change in head position, and short duration. Then I move on to the objective portion. The first thing I do is clear them to make sure it's safe to move them around in the way that I'm going to need to treat BPPV. So I will check the stability of the ligaments in the neck. I'll check the blood flow in the back of the neck to make sure they can tolerate the different directions that I'm moving them in. Then the main test for BPPV is called the Dix-Hall pike. You're sitting in an L position and you tip back over a pillow or over the edge of the plinth. And what I look for when we do that is that their eyes do something called a torsional upbeating nystagmus. It does this crazy little tick-tock thing. The eyes start slow, they crescendo, and then they come back down. The direction of that tick-tock tells me which of those canals to treat. Is it anterior, posterior, horizontal? So the direction that goes leads me to which direction I'm going to treat. So once I see that, the treatment is called the modified Epley's maneuver most of the time. There's probably 6 treatments for canal repositioning. 90% or more is going to be the posterior canal, and the treatment for that is called the modified Epley's maneuver. So they're sitting in that L position, I tip them back over the pillow, and then I'm just kind of watching their eyes for that nystagmus. Once I see it, once it comes back down, then I go directly into treatment. So I'm kind of behind them, and I just shake the rocks. I was joking around with the patient, you're going to tell your friends you went in and had your rock shaking. Well, that's really kind of what's happening. So I do little shakes, hold, shake. I'm trying to get those calcium particles to roll back out where they belong, out of that semicircular canal, back down into that utricle. So I do a little shake and hold, shake and hold. I do 45 seconds, rotate a little, keep shake and hold, rotate, rotate, rotate. Eventually, we go to sideline and sit up. And I just do that over usually 2 to 3 times until they clear. Once they clear, I tell them they got to keep their head still for about 4 hours. No big up and down, no big side to side. And then that's the treatment. Generally, very successful. Usually I can treat BPPV in 1 to 2 treatments. Sometimes it's a little more stubborn. Sometimes we get the rocks out and they roll back. Sometimes certain people don't reabsorb it well, and it may be a little more stubborn, but generally, that's it. 1 to 2 treatments, pretty easy to fix.
So how does a person get in to see you if they think they have BPPV?
So if someone thinks they have it, they need to check in with their primary care provider, their doc, their PA, their nurse practitioner, whoever they normally see. The primary care provider will screen them for some of the other more serious things, decide if, yeah, I agree, I think that's what you have, and then once they get an order, we'll get it in our office, we give them a call, and we'll shake their rocks.
All right, Todd, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nope.
Well, thank you for coming in today. It was very interesting to learn more about that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that'll do it for today's episode of Centracare Health, Wellbeing, and You. Wealth Management has offices located in Paynesville and Wilmer and is a comprehensive wealth management, investment, and insurance firm. As your trusted advisors, we are wholly dedicated to helping you reach a higher purpose for your wealth and design a lasting legacy for your family. We leverage deep industry knowledge, a vast network of specialized services, proven investment strategies, and a passion for serving you. Let Make Wealth Management help you live your life by design, not by default. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have your second chance to get some answers in for the trivia question. Reminding you the question was, how much was a gallon of moonshine in the 1920s? A, $5, B, $40, C, $8, and D, $100. We had some viewers comment in as well, but we want to make sure that we get everyone here. Just reminding you of the question for this week. Good luck to everyone. Put your answer in the comment section below, and you'll be a luckier winner, potentially.
We now want to welcome Mr. Jeremy Wilner for this episode of Your Money Minute.
Money.
Hi everyone, this is Jeremy Wilner, CEO and founder of Mag Wealth Management, and today we're going to talk about your family index number. First of all, what is a family index number? The family index number is the rate of return that your family needs to achieve its long-term financial goals. So how does it help? Well, the lower the number, the better prepared you are to meet your retirement goals and the less risk you'll need to take. The goal of the family index number is to make sure your goals align with your risk tolerance. It lessens your need to rely heavily on market performance, and it better prepares you to fund anticipated expenditures. So how does it work? Well, if you're a 36-year-old parent of 2 with a great start in using a growth-oriented investment model, your number might be higher. Maybe it's a 6 or a 7. But if you're 64 years old and looking to retire and you've fulfilled your income goals, your family index number might be less than 4. So it really depends on where you are in your life cycle. So how can it change? Your financial or family index number can change through 3 different factors: the time, savings rate, and your performance. And then changes over time. So as you have either better performance or worse performance, or you've saved more or you have more time or extend your time towards retirement, your family index number changes as well. And really the biggest part of that family index number is to make sure that you don't take excessive risk when you're in retirement. So how can you get more information? You can visit our website at magwealth.com or send me an email at jwilner@magwealth.com. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Money.
Thanks, Jeremy, for your Money Minute. Again, if you'd like to contact the Make Wealth Management team, visit their website, makewealth.com.
Now for our quote of the day. When you have a dream, you've got to grab it and never let go. Carl Burnett.
Thanks, Faith, for their inspirational quote of today. Now it's time for the jokes of the week. Why did the turkey cross the road twice? To prove he wasn't a chicken. I got the laughs the first one. Okay, that's a good sign. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, calm down. Wasn't that funny?
Okay. Why do golfers wear 2 pairs of socks? In case they get a hole in one.
No, that's a good one. Well, Faith, why are fish so smart? Because they travel in schools. Somebody had to get it. Somebody had to get the boo. Okay.
Okay. What do you call a belt of watches? A waste of time.
Man, you should hit the road. Maybe we can do some comedy stuff on the road.
Yeah. Now for our Paynesville Area Chamber of Commerce member spotlight.
Money.
Steel Insurance Services has been a locally owned, independent insurance agency since 1978. They proudly provide comprehensive insurance solutions throughout Minnesota. With 3 locations in Paynesville, Richmond, and Becker, they want to be your trusted source for all your insurance needs. Whether it's to insure your car, your home, recreational vehicles, or boat, Steel Insurance Services has an insurance solution for you. Give them a call today by calling 320-243-3710. Since 1954, McDonald's have been dedicated to serving quality food and quick service at an affordable price for their customers. Visit Paynesville McDonald's and choose from a full menu of favorites, including McCafe Coffee, all-day breakfast, juicy burgers like their Quarter Pounder, and many more. Stop by today, located on Opportunity Park in Paynesville. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Has offices located in Paynesville and Wilmer and is a comprehensive wealth management, investment, and insurance firm. As your trusted advisors, we are wholly dedicated to helping you reach a higher purpose for your wealth and design a lasting legacy for your family. We leverage deep industry knowledge, a vast network of specialized services, proven investment strategies, and a passion for serving you. Let Make Wealth Management help you live your life by design, not by default. Now it's time for what you all have been waiting for, the answer to this week's trivia. Again, the question was, how much was a gallon of moonshine in the 1920s? We had some answers from our viewers, starting with Facebook. We had Melanie Weber answer A. And on YouTube, we had Emerson Stern answering C, and a member of the Dickhausen family answering A. Well, the correct answer is B, $40. I was surprised too. According to the Paynesville Historical Society, a gallon of moonshine sold for about $40 to $50 just for a gallon. Well, again, that was the 1920s when it wasn't allowed to have moonshine, so that probably is a good ticket. But thank you for our viewers for answering those questions. And before we go, we want to remind you about some of the upcoming changes to our Talk of Paynesville program. Thanks to our generous sponsors, we'll be continuing with the fall broadcast season. Our fall season will begin on September 14th. We'll be streaming live on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. We are making the move to the evening time slot to allow more interaction with our viewers at home. We'll be streaming live twice a month. You can find our full schedule at paynesvillece.com.
Thanks everyone for watching. Please take a moment to hit that subscribe button and like our broadcast. Also, don't forget to enter your interview ideas in the comments section below. See you next time, September 14th at 7 p.m. for the first fall broadcast. I'm Faith DeCousin.
And I'm Jake Bertram. Stay safe.
And stay cool, Paynesville.